Welcome to Innovation Dialogue. I'm Diana Ding.
My voice.
My story.
My dream.
Innovation Dialogue.
We are encouraged by their story. Welcome to our show, and today we're so honored to have Dave Kilby here to tell us about California Chamber. Thank you for coming, Dave.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Actually, California is a great place, and there are many businesses, and the California Chamber is also played a very important role to make California a great place. But I heard that you got involved in this in many years, right? When did you start working with Chamber?
I started working with Chambers 37 years ago, right off the college campus.
You look like 40-something.
Yeah, well, for 40, I look pretty good, huh?
Okay.
No, it was one of those things that I learned more about who promoted the community that my university was in, and I said, that sounds like a pretty good place for me to get a job, and I got in the chamber business, and I haven't looked back. It's been a great career.
For 125 years, the California Chamber of Commerce has been the voice of business in California's capital, representing California's job creators, large and small. Our member companies put food on our tables and keep us healthy, take us to the sky, and power us into the future, make us smile, keep us safe, drive our economy, and improve the quality of our lives in so many ways.
The private business sector produces the revenues to fund our roads, fund our schools, fund our health care for those who can't afford it. It provides the jobs for those employees who drive California to be the best in the world.
Our members provide a quarter of all private sector jobs in California. Of our 13,000 members, 75% are small businesses with fewer than 100 employees.
Small business is the backbone of the California Chamber of Commerce. It's the backbone of our economy. They are innovators, they are entrepreneurs.
CalChamber promotes policies that create jobs, encourage growth, and spur investment to keep California moving forward.
People think Chamber is a nonprofit organization, but you think Chamber is a business.
Well, I always think everything we're in, every not-for-profit, I still think they need to run themselves like a business. I mean, they need to make sure that they understand their numbers and they meet the needs of their customers. And in a member organization, our customers are our members, just like you. And so you're the boss.
We're so honored.
We're here to serve you.
Oh, I thought you are the boss. So how do you run the chamber as a business, and how do you serve the members?
Well, the first thing you need to make sure that the product you put on the table for your members meets their needs. And so the areas that the CalChamber works in the most is to be the voice of business with government, and to help them comply with our laws in California. So we're an advocate and a resource. And the way we've done that, I mean, CalChamber has been around for over 125 years.
125 years.
Right. So we've certainly the way we did things and the issues that were important 125 years ago or 100 years ago or 50 years ago are very different than the issues today.
Yes, that's right.
But the members' needs were there, and they wanted us to address certain things, and so we had to change through the times to make sure we're meeting those needs of the members.
How many members you have for this?
Well, we have 13,000 businesses that are members of the California Chamber, and they represent 25% of the private sector jobs in the state of California. They are of all shapes and sizes, all over the state. They're not just big companies. They're mom and pop entrepreneurs to the largest companies in the state, and from border to border, from the far north down to the Mexican border. We have a significant number of members all throughout the state geographically.
Well, you mentioned that you are going to provide the products that match their needs. So what are your products and what are the needs?
Well, one of the products that we have, actually, we have a fantastic website that helps our members learn about the laws in this state. California has a lot of different laws compared to other parts of
Why is that? Why there are so many different laws?
Well, California is a different place. You know,
yes, of course, yeah.
And so,
but there's different rules to.
Well, it's just our state has taken federal laws in many instances and taken it a little bit farther, and we need to make sure that our members understand what they need to do, whether it's a paid sick leave bill or whether it's a minimum wage increase. We try to help our members through our posters and our pamphlets and I mean, we just have a lot of different things to help them comply. Our quick guide, our labor law digest, and actually on our website also, our HR California website, they can go to the website and get a lot of their answers right there. It's not all just hard publications and posters.
Well, when I listen to you talking about Chamber, I see the passion in your eyes. And how come someone work on this position for 37 years? And what's your motivation? What makes you so excited?
Well, my motivation is I think this is a business that you can really make a difference. And I've always thought that way. You know, I've always said that I have 3 missions in life, and one was to raise 3 wonderful children.
You have that.
I think I've done that, and with my wife, my partner, my college sweetheart, we've been able to do a great job raising our children. My other passion and mission is to make local chambers of commerce better. And so part of my job at the California Chamber is to run our local chamber relations. And so we've done a lot of work with local chambers over the years, and that's actually was my first job in the chamber business, was at the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. So I've been in their positions before, and I understand what makes local chambers tick. And then my third mission, if you will, is to try to get businesses more engaged, to try to get businesses to understand that their stories matter and that they need to communicate with their elected officials, that they actually can make a difference in shaping the future of our state.
Yeah, many of the business people, including myself, long time ago, I think, well, we're just doing our business and we don't want to get involved with politicians or those things. Well, actually, that is not right.
Well, what people need to understand is that the politicians work for you. You don't work for them. And so if they don't know
what do you need?
What your need is, or if they don't know how a proposed law impacts you, it's difficult for them. There are other interest groups that are going to be pushing their side of the story, and it's up to chambers and business people to make sure that their part of the story gets told too.
But actually, you mentioned about you running the chamber as a business.
Yes.
But before that, you never ran any actually business, right?
Well, I put myself through college working in businesses. I mean, I've worked in the food service industry, I worked in the construction industry to pay for my university education. But yeah, I learned about chambers right off the college campus, learning how to run a chamber. I had a great mentor. My first 3 years at the Modesto Chamber, I had an individual that his career was he was a chamber career guy. I learned from him, and when he retired when I was 25, the board of directors of that chamber offered me his position, and I became the CEO of the Modesto Chamber and never looked back.
Well, you are working with many of business owners in California.
Yes.
And what is the most challenge for the business owners in California?
Well, I think today, one of the challenges change from year to year, actually. Today, one of the challenges that we hear that a lot of folks are having trouble is they can't find qualified workers.
Which is
And
true.
so education is so important. And we need to make sure that people, that we have the ability to connect employers with people graduating from college and with the right skills so that they can, when they join your company, they'll be good workers for you.
How did you connect them? Do you organize event or what do you do?
Well, a lot of that is us working with the legislation and the education community to make sure that the people coming out of the universities and community colleges and high schools have the skills that they need to be successful. So a lot of it is more working on the big picture. It's not the actual filling out the application and applying for the job.
Well, I know that California Chamber has many people working together as a great team. So tell us about your board.
You know, our board of directors, it's one of the joys of the job. The people that I get to work with at the California Chamber Board of Directors, I mean, it could be people from a senior executive at the Walt Disney Company to a entrepreneur car dealer in Southern California, to the gentleman that runs the Hornblower Cruises on San Francisco Bay, and every type of business. When you put our board together in a room, almost every kind of business is around that board table. So when the chamber makes a decision, we're not making a decision based on this is just the best policy for people in the retail industry. We're making a decision based on how does that impact the entire California business climate. And so by having that diverse board, big business, small business, entrepreneurs, global companies, it really has helped our decision-making process.
So what have you done this year at California Chamber?
What have we done? Well, one of the things we always do that I want to emphasize is we have a huge international component to the California Chamber. Our international affairs vice president, Suzanne Sterling, she's been with us over 30 years in the chamber business.
Yeah, we have a good picture of her, right?
Well, we do,
Yeah,
and we also, I wanted to point out that,
governor.
that we worked very closely with the governor on his trade mission to China in 2013. In fact, we've worked with the last 4 governors on trade missions logistically. One of the things that the California Chamber also does is we have a number of trade delegations come to Sacramento. They want to meet with California business, and Suzanne pulls together lunches with those delegates and connects them with California business and California government leaders like our governor and members of the legislature.
So actually you've been to China with governor
I
2013.
have not personally, but we did, Suzanne and our president, Alan Zarenberg, and a delegation of our board, they went to China with the governor, yes.
It's great. So after they come back from China, is there any follow-up or what, you know?
Suzanne, again, our Vice President of International Affairs, Suzanne Sterling has so many contacts in both the government world and the business world, all of the ambassadors. At our annual December board dinner, we probably have 20 council generals or ambassadors joining us for dinner. It's a lot of, business is about relationships. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Silicon Valley, whether you're in the state of California, whether you're in the United States or the whole world, the global business, it's all about relationships. And so I see Suzanne and our international trade component at the California Chamber as a connector, connecting people so that they can do business in our state, invest in our state, and also opening up those strong connections with other countries.
Yeah, that's right. I noticed that many Chinese immigrants coming to the United States and many people, business people coming to the United States for business. Is there any suggestions or opportunities you like to?
Well, I'd like to connect them with Suzanne, obviously, who specializes in that. But the other thing I think is that everybody came to the United States and came to California from somewhere. And so we all started somewhere else. My relatives came from England and Germany.
Oh.
And when they came over, they got their start. So the important part is in the United States you can still get a great start. It doesn't matter where you come from, and we're open for business.
Yeah, we are all, have our American dream. It's like American dream come true. But there are so many things that they need to pay attention to, right? What's your suggestion for that?
Well, one of the things I want to make sure that all businesses, not just people that come here and open up a business from another country, they all understand what it takes to do business and the laws that are involved, and we all want to operate legally, which allows us, that's one of the reasons that we have our HR compliance business, and we try to help businesses with the details. The old line, the devil is in the details. We want to make sure people don't slip up and get in trouble legally because they didn't know the law.
It's great. So what are the key concepts of the success for you and California Chamber?
Well, for me personally, I've always felt that the ability to have an open mind, the ability to, even though I've been in this business for 37 years, I look at it as each year has been different, and I've changed the things that I've personally done, and the things that the chambers that I've worked with has changed through those years. We can't be running our grandfather's Chamber of Commerce. We have to make sure that we're constantly updating, we're constantly innovating, we're open for new ideas, and so that's kind of one of those concepts that I like to say, how how can we do things better and how can we do things different? If somebody says, oh, we tried that once and it didn't work, that's not good enough for me. Time has changed, your needs have changed as our members, and just because we might have tried something 10 years ago doesn't mean we shouldn't try it again today.
So what's going on? What's going to happen? Just foresee like 3 years or 5 years later, and what we want the Chamber to be?
Well, I want the Chamber to be more representative of California business. So we want to continue to get the word out there to other businesses that aren't currently members that you do have a voice in the Capitol, and we are that voice, and we can be there to represent you. One of the concepts that we've just started is we have our corporate affairs manager in Silicon Valley. We've never had a person, we've always run our chamber from the Capitol. We said, you know, doesn't it make sense with what's going on in Silicon Valley?
Why? You know, finally, you guys, you should have that a long time ago.
We should, we should have done a lot of things a long time ago. The point is that we did do them now. And if you want to say we woke up to that reality, that we need to have somebody on the street here in Silicon Valley that can make that connection for us. And we were able to do that when we hired Steve Van Dorn to be our corporate affairs manager here in Silicon Valley. That was a new idea. Again, we probably should have done a long time ago, but it was, we can't operate the California Chamber the way we've always done it. We have to be open to new ideas.
Yeah, it's great. Well, so the last question will be, this is Innovation Dialogue, so we ask this question to everybody. What is innovation, by your definition, in a short sentence?
You know, I've always thought to be an innovator, you have to have the ability to think differently. You can't just do things the way you've always done it. You have to be open for those new ideas. And if it's, whether it's Disney or whether it's an entrepreneur, you can't get complacent. You have to be able to think differently. Yeah,
so this is 2015, and I hope that after 2 or 3 years, we're going to invite you back and to see your different thoughts.
Well, I'll probably have more gray hair then, but I'd like to be back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was good.
As a startup in Silicon Valley, innovation is our DNA. It's inside our blood. What is innovation?
Very confident.
It's a way of thinking, it's a philosophy, it's a mindset. It's very closely related to leadership.
For me, it's really about finding the right fit between the product and the market.
Have a strong technology position, a strong market impact.
Innovation can be an idea, can be a product, can be a service, or can be a thinking. It can be everything, out-of-box thinking, not limited to your background, to the past. Welcome to Innovation Dialogue. I'm Diana Dane, and today we are going to talk about Cloud Festival. Today we have Carrie Davis, and she's here to share her story, which is so inspiring. What we are doing here is to summarize, bring out the point, and give a good presentation. Help people to bring out their idea to the whole world.
It's very important to be able to spot human talent and to be a good leader.
More importantly, it's how our corporate and partners perceive the value that's come out of the event.
It was all about seizing the opportunity rather than looking at the world as a set of problems.
I want to change the paradigm of angel investing being local. I want all of us to think global and to look at great opportunities in Asia or Europe, wherever it is in the world.
Come to Ding TV. Let us work together to bring out your idea to share with the whole world.